This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am Gianna, and today we have the opportunity to get to know Chris Snow. Thanks for your time, Chris. Excited to share your story.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So give us the lowdown. Who are you? Where are you from? How did you grow up to become a real estate agent?
Oh, very good. Yeah. So I'm here in the Northeast Florida area. As we're talking right now, we've got people preparing for a hurricane coming through. So we're in the northeast part of the state. Jacksonville, St. Augustine is my market area. I've been in real estate since 2004, got my license back in 2004. And we focus really on residential real estate. My background has always been sales. So I've been an outside sales rep selling medical equipment, did that for a number of years. So I've always just enjoyed the sales aspect of things. So right out of college, first job was sales and have been in it ever since.
Awesome. No, that's awesome. And then it just evolves into a great real estate career. And, being a salesperson is not always right. Like some people are like, oh, I didn't always want to grow up to be a real estate agent. That sucks. There's sales, whatever. But sometimes it gives you an awesome lifestyle.
And I would say I was probably right there as well, where it's like, you don't think about, hey, I just want to be a real estate agent. But when you take a sales position, then all of a sudden you compare working for someone else and a compensation plan that they put forth. And you look at it and go, well, wait a second, I can go be my own independent contractor, control my schedule, control who I get to work with, and not have really many borders on territories. And then all of a sudden you look at it and go, wow, I've got a lot more upside if I'm willing to take a little more risk.
Absolutely. And, with great risk comes great reward. And I will stand by that. So Chris, how were you introduced to EXP?
Yeah, so a friend of mine that we met each other in a coaching program back in 2000. We met each other in 2015, 16 while I was in a coaching program. And in 2017, I didn't realize he had left he had left Keller Williams. His name's AJ Maida. And so AJ reached out, I reached out to AJ because we were kind of looking, we were a franchise owner. We were struggling with just some of the things of how much we were paying into the franchise, how little support we were getting back in return. And we just kept going, there's got to be something more. There's got to be something different. And a mutual friend of ours, I was coaching with him and I said, hey, I think we want to do something different. And he goes, hey, you should talk to our buddy AJ. And I'm like, why? What has he got going on? And he goes, well, he made a change about a year ago and talk to him, just see. He goes, he seems to like it. And that was my first introduction to EXP. That was the end of 2017. And because we were in a franchise, the moment that we saw the business model, we're like, this is what we've been looking for. And all of a sudden we said, you know what, this is different. And we want to take part. Well, because we were in that franchise agreement, it took us 8 months to buy out of the franchise. And at the end of the day, we ended up writing a check for almost $100,000 to buy out of our Century 21. And it was worth every dime.
Wow. That's a great, that says a lot about making that move to EXP.
Yeah. And it's funny because when we'll do our, what does it take to become an EXP agent? And, you've got $149 application fee, very small. And so I'll make a joke and I'll just say, hey, it only costs you guys $149. It cost me $100,000. So, it's,
Make the move.
Exactly. Make the move. Make it less cheap. So.
Well, Chris, now that you're over at EXP, obviously you're enjoying a lot of things like stock options, rev share, collaboration, online world. What's one of your favorite parts about EXP? What keeps you here? What keeps you motivated?
Well, I think first and foremost, the ability to just have access to great salespeople across the United States. Whether I'm passing a referral, or two, if I just want to mastermind, and some of that leads to uh, resources that are readily available within EXP, and some of them are just being introduced by other EXP agents to opportunities or other resources that are available outside of EXP. So it's really just surrounding yourself with great salespeople that really understand marketing. They understand how to grow businesses. They understand how to leverage and grow teams, and just being able to piggyback on that and go, okay, how can I apply this to my business? And never once have I reached out to someone and asked for help that they weren't willing to give it. And now I may have needed help like right now, and they're not able to give me help right now. But for the most part, when you understand, when you're asking something of someone in return, hey, it might be a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks before I can do it. But more times than not, it's like 24 hours, and they're like, yeah, hey, here's my calendar link, set up some time and let's do it. So I've enjoyed that part. Obviously, we've done real well with the stock and the revenue share, and that's been just added blessings. So
Absolutely. And I like, the communication that you touched on, right? Having everybody, at your access, because at whatever brokerage you're at right now, when's the last time you talked to your actual broker? Because it's real easy to get set up for a meeting and just have a quick talk and connect here.
Yep.
And I think that's a really unique aspect of EXP. And Chris, with all of the things that go into real estate and family and being a business owner and entrepreneur and all the titles that you carry.
Right.
How does your work-life balance look? How do you manage it all without burning out and, still being good to your clients, your team, whatever it is, whatever scenario you're in?
It's a great question. So I will say, like life, we have different seasons. And in some seasons of my life, I'm really busy and I feel like, hey, I am burning the candle on both ends, but I can see an end in sight.
Right.
Whereas before, it was always just work with no real end in sight. And it was always about the next transaction, the next this, the next that. And it was always about surviving, not thriving. And what I found is that between having the revenue share plan in place, having the stock plan in place, now I know my future is taken care of. It makes working in the present and living in the present with my team and with our customers that much easier, because you're not stressing about what does next month look like, what does next quarter look like, what does next year look like. And it really allows me to focus my attention on whatever it is that I'm at that time. And since coming over to EXP, I've 4 years in a row, I've actually had 4 years in a row where I had a vacation. And I started with a 10-day vacation, and then this past month we went 30 days. And
Wow.
who gets to take a 30-day vacation, right?
Nobody that I know that's not a real estate agent
Right.
or a billionaire, overnight billionaire.
Exactly. Yep.
That's awesome. That's what a great balance that you've made out of this, Chris. And of course, you've been in the game since 2004. So it's taken a while to establish that and get here. But man, I bet it feels good. So my next question is going to be, let's talk production. Let's talk about things that it takes in being an icon agent. So what does that average housing price look like for you out there? And how many homes do you have to sell to be able to cap?
Yeah. So in our greater market area, when we came to EXP, our average sale price in the Northeast Florida area was about $275. And that had creeped over the previous couple of years. But now as we sit, after COVID and with the crazy market that we've had, our average sale price in our market area is close to 400,000. Our team average sale price is just shy of 500,000. So, we do some houses that are a little bit lower than the average, but we do a lot of higher end properties as well. So,
Absolutely.
and what does it take to cap in our market area? You're about 9 to 10 transactions to hit your $16,000 cap.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And then the 20 transactions after that. And Chris, my next question is going to be, you've got the cultural commitment, right? Yeah. So you can be on an icon panel, you can vet other icons, you can be a mentor, coach. So what path do you choose for that and why?
I do the teaching in EXP world. And because I run a team, what I want to do is take the things that we found to be successful for our team and share that and be able to do it. And sometimes on a panel, you only get, a couple minutes to really, I say chat, but I mean, you're only given a couple minutes to really, give a topic, but you can't really dive into it. So I like teaching. So you get a full hour to dive deep and really open it up for questions that people have. And so I always do my teaching on lead conversion, because it's what, if you can't convert leads, you can't convert opportunities, you're not going to stay in this business for very long.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right, absolutely. And Chris, there's a lot of benefits to being an Icon agent. First, that big glass shiny trophy. Then you have the options to get your cat back in stock, EXPCon, shareholders, some little VIP rooms and special lunches and brunches for you guys. So what's your favorite part about being an Icon agent? Why is that, a consistent goal for yourself and standard for the next years?
The selfish side is that, you get that stock back.
It's not selfish. That's
that. It's so, I've always just used to being paid. I was at Remax, I was at Century 21. We always had royalty fees, so we were always paying in, and there was never anything coming back. So just the fact that you've got an opportunity to put a goal out there that says, hey, now I can go and really, when somebody says, oh, I'm at 100% brokerage, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry to hear that you're settling for such little commission as 100%. Because if you set this business up and you treat it like a business, which it should be, and you hit your Icon, now all of a sudden you're at 100% plus, because now you're making more than what you would have normally made at any other brokerage. So the stock obviously is something that I really, it's that nice little incentive to just go and continue to sell and grind things out if you need to grind out that last transaction to hit there. So
absolutely, I love that. And Chris, it's all about the grind when it comes to being an Icon agent. It is a huge goal. So for people that are maybe just coming over to EXP, whether they're rookies or they've been in the game for a while, they see this Icon award, they want to hit that their first year with EXP. Is that possible? What are some goals they need to be setting out on for that, or major mistakes to avoid?
The biggest thing is you've got to have conversations every day with people about real estate. And we really break it down, try to have between 8 to 15 conversations per day with people about real estate. And it can't be the same 8 to 15 people every single day, because your pipeline, you got to keep adding to your pipeline for later on down the road. And so it's that consistency of every single day having a time set aside for prospecting, to bring new people into the database and to nurture the people that are there. If you can't do that, you're gonna struggle. You may have one good year, but you're not going to have that consistency over time if you don't build that in.
Absolutely. And that consistency is absolutely key. Lean into your mentors, lean into the people around you, hold yourself accountable. And Chris, when EXP was introduced to the industry, were you ever skeptical of it?
It's funny because in 2009, when it came out, I had no idea what EXP was. And I didn't hear about it until 2017.
Oh, wow.
But as soon as I saw it, I'm like, no, this works. I mean,
I'm making the move.
Because even if the revenue share part and even if the stock amounted to nothing, the fact that I was in an opportunity that I could have a cap of $16,000 and I got to lower my overhead, my expenses. I mean, that alone was enough. And if the stock was worth $1 at the end of the day, it's still more stock than I ever got with any company that I was ever with. And then, on the revenue share side of it is if we could grow it and it can get paid out, awesome, great. And all of those things have come to fruition. And like I say, it makes the $100,000 check that I wrote out mean a lot less now. So.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And that's again, such a great testimony of the value of EXP, to write $100,000 check and think to yourself, that was so worth it to me. So for people that are looking at making the move to come over, Chris, but they hear things in the industry like it's a pyramid scheme, it's a cult. What would you have to say to them to kind of rest assured EXP is the move to make?
Well, what I look at is, having worked for 2 franchises, every franchise is set up exactly the same way as how EXP is set up. It's just that instead of giving bonuses and giving referral fees and commissions off transactions to corporate people, we're just sharing it with the agent.
Sure.
And, we're a real estate company. We sell real estate. If people aren't selling real estate, there is no revenue to share.
Right.
And we're just participating. If we help the company grow, there's a value to that agent over time, and EXP recognizes it, and they just want to reward us with that thank you, that ongoing thank you going forward. And if you think about it, I mean, who better to sell the company versus billboards and commercials than agents who are actually in production, who are meeting other agents and building relationships and becoming vested in each other's businesses, that you get to become business partners with those folks. And why would you not want your business partners to benefit from that relationship? So
absolutely, Chris. And with that being said, are you going to be at EXPCon in a couple weeks?
Unfortunately, I will not be. This will be the first one that I've missed since we came over. So just between some family vacations and stuff like that we have planned. And just being out, and our team is growing, which is really good.
Sure.
So it's going to cause me for this event to miss it. So this will be, like I say, the first event that I've missed in my 4 years at EXP.
Well, fair enough. We'll miss you out there, Chris. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with today as we wrap it up?
No, I think, if you're in this business, and it's going to get tough right now as we sit, I don't know when this is going to get watched by someone, but we're at the end of September 2022. We're going through a transition in this marketplace, across the nation, and our industry will shift a little bit. Don't be afraid. Plug into the resources that people have, that we have here with the company, because we've got, again, some of the most brilliant minds in real estate at this company. And embrace the change, because as people get scared and they get out of this business, they are going to, the agents that stay are going to get rewarded with it. So don't stop short. So
absolutely. I love that. Chris, I'm going to ask you to hang out backstage behind the podcast as we wrap it up today. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. And I guess we won't see you in Vegas, but hopefully we'll run into you soon.
Thanks, Gianna. God bless. Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at SphereRocketVA.com and find out how we can make your life easier.